Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe. And ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop. And I saw this article a few days ago, and it fascinated me. It truly fascinated me. There's been a lot going on. There's been a lot of articles. By the way, as I said, it's fascinating me. I giggled, and I just sprayed my freaking screen. It's like... I'm trying to decide, am I going to wipe it off? Because I'm getting these little, like, droplets of, what's the word, spittle, making kind of like a nice rainbow effect on a lot of the screen. Anyway, I'm just going to leave it. I'm going to live with it, because that's the sort of guy I am. Anyway, I saw this article a few days ago. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of articles going, but it really fascinated me. It's by Gizmodo, which I didn't know was an insane website. Apparently it is. And the article was entitled 10 Great Moments from Jodie Whittaker's 13th Doctor. I don't think there have been 10 great moments from Jodie Whittaker's Doctor. I don't think there's been one great moment from Jodie Whittaker's Doctor. And I just want to say, before we get into it, if you're somebody who likes the character, and it's so weird that we've got to preface everything we say with this, if you're somebody who likes it, great, I'm glad you enjoy it. I don't understand how you enjoy this and the rest of Doctor Who. It seems to be at massive loggerheads. Like, this Doctor is a terrible conformist. It's one of the reasons I just can't stand it. It's like the antithesis of what Doctor Who's supposed to be. But there you go. But if you like it, good for you. And it doesn't matter if we have different opinions, right? It's okay. You're still a valid person, so am I. Well, I mean, as far as this is concerned, it doesn't matter. And, I'll even go one further. Let's say something impossible. Let's say my opinion is right and your opinion is wrong, which is impossible because they're opinions, right? It still doesn't matter. It still doesn't matter, right? You enjoy it. Listen, when I was at school, friends of mine were like, well, how on earth do you like Doctor Who? Because Trial of the Time Lord was on, and it was a little bit embarrassing. Trial of the Time Lord was not a fun time to be a juvenile Doctor Who fan, let me tell you, because everything that was stereotypically bad to Doctor Who was represented in those 14 weeks, and it was crushingly embarrassing. But we get over these things. Anyway, I digress. Please like, share, subscribe, ring the little bell, of course, so you're notified when new videos drop. Comment, let me know what you think. I got about 30-40 comments to go through today. Normally I record these in the morning. This actually is going out, I think it's going out on Friday. But I'm recording this one on Thursday. I'm trying to get ahead of the game, right? I should be working on my Indiegogo. What's my Indiegogo? That's actually quite a good segue. Go check out my Indiegogo, right over here. It's 2 freaking awesome comic books. We got Biblical, Bible Stories, Ace of Grace, Rationalist Rogues. This is the one I'm nearly finished working on. Well, I thought I finished working on it, right? I sent it to the printers. I was ahead of the game. Again, like this. I was ahead of the game. And they said, to meet aspects, you have to make a teeny tiny change for each on each page. And I could have done this in a bulk way, and it would have looked okay. Nobody would have noticed. Honestly, nobody would have noticed other than me. And honestly, I can't put anything out that I don't think is my best, right? And it really is. It's really a problem because I spent about good 12 hours on this so far, and counting, and more, and I'm finding stuff as I go on, as I go through. I'm like, oh, you know what? I really wanted to rewrite the dialogue on that page. Anyway, I've freaking nearly finished getting this one nailed down. 220 pages long. Freaking awesome. And then there's this book, The Imperium, a love letter to telefantasy of the 1960s. Now I'm hoping this one is a lot less problematic. I'll be able to get this one ready for this specific printer much quicker, even though I'm adding 5 pages into it, right? But this is essentially a love letter telefantasy of the 1960s. Imagine James Bond, Doctor Who, Emmett Till, The Black Slap from 2001, and Monkey in a Space Suit. It's just fun. It's just a fun book. Also, if you get both books, a bit of Prisoner there, a bit of Thunderbirds, it's all there, baby. If you get both books, you get a whole bunch of extras. This poster for the mail. Let's go check the videos. It's going offline soon, and I wish I could give you a real time when it's going offline. It's when the printer gives me the date that it's printing, right? But honestly, if you're a backer, I am working on this like a ridiculous amount of time to get this out to you, because I want to get this closed. I want to get this out to you. we're at the point now where you need to put up or shut up. I don't like shutting up, right? I don't like shutting up. So therefore, I want to put up. So there you go. Go check it out. It's in the video notes right there. Fine. Let's look at this this wacky story. This story that stretches the imagination, right? Stretches the mind and the imagination. 10 great Doctor Who moments from Jodie Whittaker's 13th Doctor. Not just 10 great moments, 10 great Doctor Who moments. Okay, no, look, the overriding problem with the current era of Doctor Who, other than the very, very boring, preachy writing that often doesn't have villains or monsters in, or sense, or logic, or anything engaging whatsoever. Other than all of that, is Whittaker's performance. She's just breathtakingly awful. I mean, she is just a wrecking ball of suck in whatever she's in. And so I don't know. So listen, again, I want to know. Inquiring minds want to know, what the hell are they talking about? As we begin to look at the end of her tenure next year, yes. As we begin to look at the tenure next year, here's a reminder of why we loved the 13th Doctor. I gotta know. I don't know. I want to, because this is like a foreign worldview for me. No, I'm not going to start the slideshow. I'm going to scroll. Last week booked the sad news that time's up for the Tardis later zone. Like, what universe are you freaking living in, mate? Sad news. It was met with pure elation and silence from her, frankly, psycho fans that live on Twitter. Which, I'm not saying all her fans are psycho and they live on Twitter, but a lot of psychos that live on Twitter are fans of Jodie Whittaker's Doctor Who. And like it was met with just pure elation. The rate okay, I was going to say the ratings, but no, I'll go one further. Every measurable metric has said this era has been a crushing failure. It's not sad for anybody apart from crazy people. Yeah, and again, if you're a fan, I assume you're not crazy. I hope. Jodie Whittaker is exiting the Doctor at the end of 2022. No, it's more like the autumn. Leaving alongside showrunner Chris Chibnall, who said, he had a 5-year plan. And now, funnily enough, he says it's a 3-and-out plan. Really? Well, you could have probably shot them all in 1 year, the amount of work you guys do. But in true Doctor Who manner, now that we've already wondered about the future, it's time to reflect on the past with the moments we've loved most apart from the 13th Doctor so far. The only moment I love most is the BBC News item that she was leaving, finding herself. Okay, most Doctors manage to do this. It's a mirror. Let's see what they're talking about. Every Doctor throws themselves into that first moment of realization in their regeneration story that coalesces who they are. And this is an overriding criticism of this era of Doctor Who. From the fans of this era, people the media outlets have been saying she's the greatest ever, she's stunning and brave, she's wonderful, she's the bestest of the bestest of the bestest, right? But these media outlets, Screen Rant, for example, are now coming out with articles saying she never had a chance, she never had a moment, she never had her definitive Doctor Who moment. That's what they're talking about. It never freaking happened. When are they going to say it actually happened? The coalesce who they are and what they are, a moron, right? You know what? I think at the time it should have coalesced on everybody. What she was is when she blocked the TARDIS and was sucked out of it in the opening, in the closing seconds of Twice Upon a Time. That's when we found out how stupid she was, and she didn't get more smarter than that. No, she stayed a freaking moron. Whittaker's Time Lord didn't quite have the extended post-regeneration trauma we're used to, but her proud declaration to Tim Shaw, really? Oh, how did she proudly? It was. I don't think it was proud. I don't remember it because it was boring. I think probably smug. That who she was and what she stood for sold us from the start. Hello, Doctor. But she was lying, wasn't it? She was saying, when anybody's in trouble, I always help them. Except if they voted for Brexit or Trump. Then they're bad people. Yeah, no, exactly. You keep saying, oh, she's so kind. She's not kind. Good God. She's, A virtue signaler. Kind people are selfless, right? Kind people don't need the world to look at them and give them a round of freaking applause. Because to be kind, you need to not be concerned about yourself 24/7. To be a selfish virtue signaler, which this doctor is, you don't think about anybody else. So she's not kind, she's not clever. No, fine. For bullshit, number one. Forging a sonic screwdriver. I'll actually have to tell you, okay? This is before we knew she was going to be awful, right? And you probably heard me say this many times before. I was on the fence about her right up until the Sonongo conundrum. I even gave her a pass with Arachnids in the UK and Rosa, which on second viewing was unbelievably awful, right? It's just unbelievably stupid. Whittaker's doctors from the get-go had a sense of crafting and tinkering quite unlike any of her recent incarnations we've seen. No, every doctor lashes things up together. I'm like, what? Every doctor? You don't remember David Tennant? He put together a TARDIS from bits of TARDISes. Yeah, in the Doctor's way. Like was it David Tennant? No, that was Matt Smith. Okay, I didn't remember David Tennant. But lashing things together, that's a very typical Doctor Who thing to do. I think quite any occasion of the character we've seen. What are you talking about? I remember very well Patrick Troughton rigging up stuff to get the Ice Warriors in Seeds of Doom. We had the Dalek confusion thing on Spiridon, the portable version of it the Seventh Doctor made. This is Doctor Who 101. Okay, and a sense of craft and tinkering, quite unlike any of the recent incarnations of the character we've seen. No, not. I mean, what was it? There was even a line in Eccleston's, was it first episode, saying about jiggery pokery, or second episode? They said, yeah, I'm right dab out of jiggery pokery. I mean, like, this is just annoying, right? It's like, oh, how can we write an article about 10 great moments about the 13th Doctor? We'll lie through our asses. Well, okay, that's pretty much how it works. Okay, now I'm getting it. Okay, fine. They had gadgets and gizmos aplenty, which they built, they tinkered, and they crafted. But the 13th Doctor held a deep love for craft, poking, and... What are you fucking talking about? What? Every single Doctor does this. But whenever she can get her hands on, no TARDIS, no backup. The idea she still manages to make a functioning sonic screwdriver out of junk car scrap. Easy, but again, Matt Smith's first episode, right? I think probably the greatest first episode of a Doctor, right? It was the 11th hour, and they exactly said that. No TARDIS, no sonic screwdriver, and he stops an alien invasion. She made a freaking screwdriver, which looks a bit like a sex toy, right? I mean, I don't know if that was intentional, but if it was, kudos to you. Finding the TARDIS, really. Finding the TARDIS. That's like saying, you know why Bob Smith is such a great guy, such an incredible person. Like if there's somebody who wanted to lay plot, like Nelson Mandela. You know why he's so great? You know why Mother Teresa's so wonderful? You know why all these people are so great? They found their front door. Yes, they did. All by them. She lost a freaking TARDIS as well. Let's not forget that. I mean, okay. Whittaker's Doctor does wanderlust quite unlike any other before her. What are you fucking talking about? Every Doctor before... I mean, like, you've used this line twice and you've been wrong twice, right? Oh God, I'm just seeing what the next one is. Oh my God. I should have started lower. Is this the second one? I'm only on the second one? No, I'm on the third one, thank God. You got to start low to build up. Well, oh my God. Okay, one last thing before. Well, she does it plenty. She's essentially, that's all she does. She's the bus driver for the fan. Does it plenty. There's still something like sings about her reuniting with the TARDIS. Actually, I have to tell you, that was a bit that I thought wasn't bad. I thought that second episode, the Ghost Monument, was the only episode where I felt a bit like Doctor Who while Whittaker was in it, right? I mean, you had Revolution of the Dalek, which felt a little bit like Doctor Who, a little bit like Doctor Who when she wasn't in it. But this was the only episode where it felt a bit like Doctor Who when she was in it, especially the bit where she found the light. But again, you know, everything is defined by the state of mind of the person watching, and at that time I was very open to it and very just expecting to like it, like I'd liked every other bit of Doctor Who beforehand. So yeah, I think my first impression, which I'm still working on, is probably riffing off that. Without it for the bulk of her first 2 episodes, as she was without any monsters or anything else for the bulk of the first season, as it hurtled across time and space, preparing itself from particularly explosive regeneration. The love, the awe, the joy at rediscovering a new version of a familiar space. It's also satisfying. I don't know what drugs these people are taking, but man, would I like some. Okay, here we go. A scathing lesson. I think the scathing lesson was in the viewership plummeting. I think this was the point. Oh yeah, Orphan 55. This was the point where I would have stopped watching the show if it was not for this channel. You know, I think I'm basically there with Star Trek right now. I think I'm done watching it. You know, I watched What If last night. Marvel's What If. By the way, one bit of I did like was Jeffrey Wright as the voice of the Watcher. I mean, yes, obviously they got to have a black person be the voice of the Watcher, even though he's a little very white person. Jeffrey White's reasonably good casting for that, though. I think he's got that good, like, Twilight Zone-y introduction. And man, I love the premise of it. But as soon as they gave her the premise, and they went, and now let's be incredibly sexy. Honestly, I'm going off a tangent because I don't want to think about this awful episode. Whittaker's second season as the Doctor saw her develop a hard edge underneath her unusual, breezy and jovial exterior. Yeah, well, are we talking about when she lectured everybody? Oh, you can wreck planets or you can save them. I understand. If you think Greta Thunberg is the greatest thing ever, right? If Greta Thunberg makes you wet, and I'm saying wet, not hard, because I don't think there's any straight man. I'll probably gay man. I don't think there's any man who could probably be we go, oh, bit of Greta Thunberg action. Nothing gets me going like a adolescent scouring at me, which is what this episode. I mean, like there was no because you didn't notice it at the time because it was so gallingly stupid, but there was just no conviction behind it. And she thought she was being great. Oh my God, Whittaker thought she was being so good. I guess because people like this lie to her and say, oh, it was stunning and brave. Oh, stunning and brave. That was with good reason, considering the overarching thread of season 12 was the Doctor learning from her older enemy, the Master, that everything she knew about her own existence was predicated on a horrifying lie at the heart of time lost civilization. Yeah, God, it's not canon. Leave me alone. Stupid. So you can't blame this example. Can't blame, for example, you can't blame, for example, when a broken and exhausted Doctor snaps back at her companions and the audience in the wake of the visits a climate ravagers. And by the way, whenabouts was this in Earth's timeline? Because I know Earth was devastated by solar flares, and during the Ark in Space era, and you know, it had a when did this all fit in? Was that during that? I'm going to assume it's during that. So, but if it was devastated by solar flares, then we didn't. Who cares, really? You know what? The answer is this: nothing matters, right? Nothing matters. In the wake of climate revolution, that things can only get so bleak if humanity fails to come together and save the planet in a way that she can't. Yes, by everybody adopting socialism apart from a teeny tiny percentage of the elites and us living in pods and eating bugs. Right? I wish I was making this crap up. That is the solution that they want, right? They're not so clear about the solution. But at the same time, not putting any pressure on China or India to curb their carbon footprint, because we want to go after the people who are most to blame for this problem, right? No, because we're really more interested in making ourselves feel guilt by self-flagellation over white guilt. Freaking morons! Really, I can't. They're bringing this up as one of the greatest moments. I mean, look, the frog even looks shit. I mean, it's like, it wasn't just a shit idea. The frog looks shit. This might be the best, regardless of how you feel about the season at large. Some majors of Doctor Who's 11th season. We agree! We agree! Yes! We do agree. It's incredibly silly and weird, funny, yet deeply emotional and full. Okay, you're right. You're right. The first one, incredibly silly, stupid, and pointless. That's where you should have gone. Incredibly silly and weird and funny, yeah, and yet deeply emotional and full of haunted, loving sense of wanderlust. Was that your word of the day from your big book of super words? It's Jodie Whittaker dances around a dancer circle around a CG frog. That's Doctor Who in a sentence right there. No, again, she's not the Doctor. I'm sorry, she's just not the Doctor. Oh yes, another embarrassing moment from the season 11, the Doctor and the King. Now, what were they What was Alan Cumming doing with this? Of having such a weirdly effeminate king? Like King Charles, because King Charles was just weirdly effeminate for a reason that I couldn't really understand, but just weirdly effeminate. Which one is the most part was a pretty standard Doctor Who historical. It was one that I think if it was written for Russell T Davies or Stephen Moffat, it could have been whipped into shape, right? That along with Kablam. It's the first time the Doctor's current gender being female really becomes an actual challenge to their often earned arrogance over the assumption everybody will immediately do as they're told. It was some kind of like psychic, control, they always said. The moment the Doctor steps into a room can't overcome. The moment the Doctor steps into a room can't overcome. What? Arrogance over assumption that okay, fine. Now it was a bit of a run-on sentence. Often, and I'm going to read this full sentence, right? Where does this sentence start? It goes on forever. The Witchfinders, for the most part, is a pretty standard Doctor Who historical, but it's the first time the Doctor's current gender being female really became an actual challenge that their often earned arrogance over the assumption. It's still the same sentence. Over the assumption anyone who will immediately do as they're told the moment the Doctor steps in the room can't overcome. Yeah, look. This is the reason she couldn't get people to listen to it. It wasn't because she's a woman. It's because she lacked any form of authority whatsoever. No, Doctor should be an anti-authoritarian authority. She's a idiot conformist. Being confronted by King James' quest for persecution and coming short is a brilliant twist on Doctor's human dominance in a historical narrative. And Whittaker plays the frustration and fear excellently. She doesn't play anything excellently. And here, this is really highlights a major mistake, right? They've already done one radical reinvention to Doctor Who by making the main character female. And I know they want to say, no, it's normal. No, men and women are the same. They're interchangeable. No, it's not. It's one major reinvention. And that's what, and they should, everything else should have gone incredibly traditional. No, you shouldn't subvert expectations once you've already subverted expectations, right? You know what happens when you subvert expectations once you already subvert expectations? You make shit like this. Eye to eye stalk. God, she even looks shit in that. The Doctor's first encounter with the Daleks is always a test of mettle for the actor to relish, and she was useless at it. I mean, she couldn't even run down a bloody corridor. And Whittaker's first encounter runs the whole gamut of what you would want out this mashup. They didn't exterminate her, so no, it didn't. The gloating and disarming humor. The Doctor doesn't gloat. I'm sorry. The Doctor's a better person than that. The Doctor does not gloat. This Doctor gloats because she's a bad person. It's funny. Again, what if? What if Peggy Carter was Captain Carter, not I don't know, Captain, whatever, instead of Captain, was it America? She gloats at one point, you know, to somebody who spoke down to her at one point. Like, no. You want your heroes to have good character traits, or at least when they're being bad character traits, have them be presented as bad character traits, not as good character traits, which these idiots thought they were. Gloating is a bad thing, right? The disarming humor, she's not funny, but also anger and fear. There's an energy before things go inevitably sideways and exterminating beams start flying around the place. That's electrifying and sets up this. Oh, I wish I was watching this show. These people are in another freaking dimension. Tessa Sato, what's become symbolic of Whittaker's run. She's at her best where up against who's most iconic enemy. I mean, yes, it's symbolic of Whittaker's run in that she can't run. The run is terrible. The Lone Cyberman, the haunting of Philadelphia, fear of the Cybermen. This is something they actually did well, I think. The design of the Cybermen and the Lone Cybermen was a good idea. Horribly squandered in a terrible script. A series of terrible scripts. Another dark moment for season 12, that one that packs more of a punch following her rage in Orphan 55, comes at the climax of the haunting of Villa Diodati, or Diodati. The haunting of Villa Dildo, or Sonic Screwdriver, if you want to call it that way. Trapped in a twisting house with an unyielding foe. It wasn't twisting. It was just a house. With an unyielding foe, faced with fulfilling a dire prophecy or breaking time itself, the Doctor lets her mask crap in order to steel herself for encounter with the last Cyberman. That's the one where she gives them the Cyberium, even though she's told not to, and breaks all the time and destroys humanity with it. The Doctor's companions, her beloved fam, have become so important to her that she feels fear and rage about losing another of them to the Cybermen. The threat when she reminds them just how all this works is perfectly bone cold. The threat when she reminds them just how all this works is perfectly. I don't even know what they're trying to say. But it was a shit episode. The best things about it were things that had nothing to do with Whittaker and Chibnall, which was a Cybermen design. And I think the idea of this like semi-human Cyber, again, if you put it through the hands of a decent writer, you might have a working script, right? But you didn't. Is this the last one? Please don't. No. My God, there's two more. This didn't even make number one. Embracing the truth on Gallifrey, the shittest moment in Doctor Who ever. Actually, I'm not sure. Could the shittest moment be when she told Graham that she couldn't give a monkeys that he's worried about his cancer coming back? Was it that? I feel a bit socially awkward, so I'm just going to walk over here. Yeah, that's really, really heroic, darling. The shocking revelation of how crucial Doctor was to exist on the Time Lord will go down as the biggest greatest swing at their Chibnall Whittaker's run on the show. Yes, and that's why their run has ended, right? How did it go again? Have you looked at the viewing figures? Started up here, ended like down here. Not good. You know why? It's not because everybody's a sexist. It's not because everybody's a racist. It's because you have made shit. The shocking revelation of how the crucial creation exists on the Time Lords. We're going to, blah, blah, blah. Whether or not it gets picked up much or even retconned, yeah, you know it's going to happen. If Doctor Who continues, it needs to be retconned. It's no way it can continue. Or retcon beyond their tenure remains to be seen. No, it doesn't. Look, keep on doing more of the same, mate. More of the same. See how it goes. But that doesn't rob the moment the Doctor breaks out the Master's imprisonment within the Time Lord matrix of knowledge. Yeah, again. Okay, so let's just get this straight. She was in a supercomputer that was designed to be the repository of every Time Lord's memories, right? Now, most Time Lords have 12 lives. I guess. I think all of them have 12. I guess if you fall into a volcano and you keep, you just let this down to regenerate. So let's say there's 100 billion, right? Let's go 1 billion Time Lords, right? So she has so many lives that she's forgot about that it manages to short circuit the Matrix, which is designed to hold 1 billion. Really? Yeah, I don't think so. Embracing that there's so much more for her to understand about herself. There's so much more to understand. You know why there's so much more for her to understand? Because she's a moron. That's why. And not by being broken by it. No, it just broke us, right? It broke us. And the last one. What's this last great moment? Tardis trickery. Oh, God, this was embarrassing. Oh, this was embarrassing. I mean, yeah, okay. Let's just say this out before before they get. So the plot was that Mr. Big from Sex and the City, which I've never seen actually, found a way of making Daleks, but like, you know, lower quality human Daleks, and then the bit of Dalek DNA managed to clone itself somehow, and I can't even remember the bollocks, right? Anyway, they made human Daleks. They said Daleks out of, you know, earthly materials. And they were so dangerous. They were so incredibly dangerous. The only way they could get rid of them is by calling them far more dangerous real Daleks, actual genuine Daleks, and say, could you blow these up? And then they go, and then we'll work out what to do with them later. Really? Oh, that's a great plan. Fantastic plan, darling. If you can't deal with the lesser threat, then, I mean, it's like saying, I got a mouse, so I'm going to bring a lion into my house to eat the mouse, and then I'll work out what to do with the lion. That's exactly the plot, right? So this is one of the greatest moments in Doctor Who, okay? As previously established, Whittaker's Doctor shone when confronting the Daleks. Oh, God, yeah, and had the thing, okay, she conveniently had a second Tardis, and she tricked them into going in the Tardis, and, God, her acting was awful. It was like, she was like, hey, come and get me, darling. It was so bad. It was just so unbelievably bad. When you come in the Daleks, the new special Revolution of the Dalek was no exception. I can't say Revolution of the Daleks because I have to say it the way she said it. It's just like ingrained in my head, right? It's like I have a town next to me called was it Alfie Menasha? Every time I go past it, every time I drive past it, I go Alfie. Because, you know, some things you got to do, mate. Some things you just got to do. Doctor's at her best when her back's against the wall and in the face of overwhelming force delivering a plan equal parts destructive and deceptive. God, yeah, I mean, really, this Doctor isn't smart enough to be destructive. I mean, she'd be pretty destructive. Deceptive, I mean, she did destroy the entire human race. But other than that, it's great, and the little hologram gloat. Again, gloating is a bad thing. It's a bad thing, but the idiots who write this don't understand it because they have no virtue whatsoever, right? They have no virtue whatsoever. Before blowing the garlic ducks and smithereens is just delightful. No. Being a bad person isn't delightful. Yeah, I did think there were no good moments they would come up with. And Gizmodo, you proved my point. Also, Gizmodo, you've shown me that you're not a website I ever need to listen to again, except maybe to take the piss out of you. And let me tell you, not many websites deserve to have the piss taken out of them quite as much as you do. My name is Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe. And ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop.